swear I am not one for clickbait. I promise you. Although I saw a headline, Bellingham wanted by Dortmund, I was like, what? Like, it's happening again? I thought he was happy at Real Madrid, right? I thought we were going to see him in the Club World Cup, and then he's going to go off for surgery. What? Anyway, yeah, it's not Jude, it's Jobe. It's his younger brother. Well, only by a couple of years, right? This cropped up earlier today, May 21st. Jude Bellingham, currently playing for the Black Cats of Sunderland, up in the north east, further north than where we are, in that there Hull. Jobe Bellingham transfer from Sunderland to Borussia Dortmund. Bild, I mean, again, it's been reported on by Bild, so we're not gonna dismiss it just yet. Bild reports on Jobe Bellingham's potential move to Borussia Dortmund following successful negotiations. Jobe Bellingham is considering a move to Dortmund following successful negotiations. You've said that bit twice. The BVB management, including Lars Ricken, remember him? Lars Ricken, dink. He's got that dinked goal, or the winning goal anyway, for Dortmund in the Champions League, or the European Cup as it was back then, in 1997. A 3-1 BVB win over the old lady of Italy, over Juventus. Anyway, that Lars Ricken, and Sebastian Kehl, and of course Niko Kovac with brother Robert. They came to England. Wicked. I went to the Black Country. Did you? That accent was terrible. I swear. Black Country. In that there Midlands, isn't it? In the West Midlands, I should say. Dortmund is preparing to pay around €30 million as a transfer fee and aims to complete the transfer, possibly, keyword, possibly before the Club World Cup. Club World Cup starts June 15th, and you can catch it all right here with us on the German Football Spotlight channel. Anyway, back to this mind-blowing attempt, honestly, not at clickbait, an attempt to be authentic. So obviously, what do? You turn to the experts, you turn to the people that you trust, you turn to your sources. There's old Florian Plettenberg, look, Plettigol, Sky reporter, works for Sky.de, covers transfers, very close with teams like Bayern. Understand Borussia Dortmund are ahead of Eintracht Frankfurt, old SGE, in the race to sign Jobe Bellingham. BVB want to bring Bellingham in as early as the Club World Cup. He is their top priority and target numero uno for this position. Further talks are scheduled for this week, and that was dated a couple of days ago. And then here, Eurofoot, this was back in early May, so the Bundesliga season was still going on. The EFL Championship, where Sunderland play, was still very much going on. Jobe Bellingham, 19, is Borussia Dortmund's number one transfer target. Minimum €25 million transfer fee, and that's reported by Patrick Berger, not ex-Liverpool, but Sky.de reporter Patrick Berger. And then just to try and make a comparison, I have gone like Shear. I've turned back time. Jude Bellingham will join Borussia Dortmund until June 2025. Decision made because of the project of the club and a chance to be a starter. 23 million to Birmingham, and here we go soon. That was Fabrizio Romano back in summer of 2020, and that indeed was true, right? That did happen. Jude Bellingham went to Dortmund for a couple of years. On his last ever game, though, I mean, not him, but the whole team bottled it, didn't they? Dortmund did bottle it on the last day, match day 34 of the 23 season, when they ended up drawing 2-2 with Mainz. Munich won elsewhere, and Dortmund lost out on the Bundesliga on goal difference. Anyway, that was Bellingham's last game. Then he went to Real Madrid, where he is today. Let's have a look at Jobe. Jobe, very religious name, isn't it? Jobe Bellingham. He's 19. He's 1m91, so he's like 6'3". Central midfielder. He's playing regular games for England's under-21s. 4 caps. This is him in the Championship. And again, like I say, that whole city play, well, just about survived in the EFL Championship for another season. He plays for Sunderland, the Black Cats. 40 appearances in their regular season, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 goal involvements, which doesn't sound like a lot, but hey, this guy covers every single blade of grass going. You want to look at his heat maps, they're like, woof, you could barbecue on his heat maps because he's everywhere. I saw him play, as did 21,500 other fans that went to the Hull City MKM Stadium to watch him come, was it last October? We lost 1-0. It was that farcical goal that came from our corner. The referee got in the way and he broke clear. But yeah, like, he was impressive. Very, very impressive. That was back in October. Again, long season. It's a long old season, the Championship. 46 games. Anyway, he's everywhere, right? He's everywhere. 4 goals, 3 assists. 1 red card, but hey, you know, that proves that he's got aggression to him. And of course, he'll be playing this weekend, so there's a nuance to this, really, which is no decision's going to be made until this game plays out. So this is and again, if you're one of my regular viewers, thank you so much for giving it your time. If you're somebody new, welcome in, everyone's welcome. Thank you so much. And I'll just quickly ask, have a think about being part of this on a full-time basis, right? And by that I mean think about following the community. In fact, fuck it, don't think about it. Just using those 2 fingers as a double pivot, like the big brain one would do at Bayern Munich in his 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot. These 2 fingers, left one goes on smashing the like, the right one hits the subscribe, and then use this orifice, this opening, to tell your workmates, well, your classmates, your workmates, your family. When you're out and about and in with a shout, tell everyone, get them all here. Bring them here, right? Bring them here. It's a safe space. We can have some fun. All opinions are welcome. You know, real men cry too. It's a safe space. Anyway, bring them in. Right, what am I saying? I'm saying there's a lot riding on this game as to what happens next. Because this is... Well, I was trying to explain it, wasn't I? This game, Sheffield United versus Sunderland, is a... Wow, 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 wow. It's a Wild West style shootout to get into the promised land, the payday land of the Premier League. If you win that game, you go to the Premier League where the money just is showered down upon you. Yeah, it's worth millions. Like, honestly, multiples of millions. And even if you get relegated for 3 years, they give you money as what they call a parachute payment, which is like 50% of the money that you could earn. So most EFL Championship clubs are earning about 11 million, 12 million euro per season. That's just from being part of it. Then there's the TV money. Then there's obviously commercial rights from merchandising and what happens on a match day in terms of food and beverages and whatnot. But anyway, there's a lot of money riding on it. And there's multiples if you get into the Premier League. So this game that Jobe Bellingham and his team, managed by, is he French Lebris? Fabrice Lebris? I think he is. Anyway, there's a lot riding on this because the winner goes up and the loser just stays where they are. So obviously, as his agent, as his management team, he's not going to be rushing into making any decisions until the outcome of this game. But a slight spoiler, he has already told Lebris and the execs at Sunderland that if they don't make it up, he's going to go. That was a little spoiler. Anyway, so that's a big game on the weekend. This is what it's easy to visualise sometimes on whoscored.com. In the Championship this season, he's been part of 42 games. That's a lot of minutes, nearly 3,800 minutes, 3,800 minutes, nearly. 4 goals, 3 assists. He's winning his aerial duels. He's had 3 man of the matches, close to a 7 rating, which is like, you know, if you play Football Manager 24, FM24, any of those games, you know that's hard to be that consistent in a league that just, it's a grind. You're playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. It's an absolute grind. This is what you can expect from him. Look, this is on a per game basis. 1.9 tackles, 0.8 interceptions, 0.4 blocks. Again, he covers every blade of grass. Box-to-box midfielder with a massive engine. Offensively then, on the attack, the counter-attack, or just building an attack as a key ball-carrying player. 1.1 key passes, 0.9 dribbles, and then his passing game, 0.1 crosses, and an 85.6 pass completion rate. So that's what you're getting with him. Football talent scouting, so they're tracking data, they're producing data analysis. There's what you get. Look, box-to-box midfielder with above average. I think it's quite patronising, but anyway, above average playmaking skills. He's tall. He is like 6'2", 6'3", tall player with an excellent body mass ratio. All right, okay. Now we're stretching into Tinder territory. Other dating apps are probably available. With an excellent body mass ratio, an impressive physical physique. I've just made that part up, haven't I? Impressive physical strength for his age. He functions best on the left side of midfield, preferably in a midfield three, although he is right-footed, by the way, as a more advanced option in a double pivot. You know, like those fingers to like and subscribe. Get that done, please. Highly technical player with a refined touch and smooth operator. Got to be careful, haven't we, Gonzo? They won't get demonetised for crap singing. Rusty and crusty singing. Smooth operator, graceful style of play, skillful, confident ball carrier who progresses the play. That's what we talked about, isn't it? You know, progresses the play with fluid vertical runs, strong at making well-timed, efficient late runs into the penalty area. He displays a high work rate and energy in the defensive phase, consistently tracking back, making key tackles and interception to regain possession. Hence, I made the Declan Rice comparison. 19 years of age, big future ahead. And again, this is quite interesting, just for perspective. So in the year 2020, Jude Bellingham, then of Birmingham, was voted the championship, the FL Championships, lung. Well, he has got lung, hasn't he? It's a three lung park. Or to quote you out there, Danny, very clever, Dishy Danny of Always Buying Chelsea, 3 lung Lima. Love that. Anyone that praises King Conrad Lima gets our attention and gets a seal of approval. 2020, Jude Bellingham. Hey, Jude. We'll be careful we're getting demonetised. Then of Birmingham. And this year, it's Jobe. It's his younger brother, Jobe Bellingham, currently playing for Sunderland. Right, let's rattle through some of this. So this is Sky in the UK, but obviously they've got a lot of their insights from people like Patrick Berger, like Florian Plettenberg, over at Sky in Germany. Jobe Bellingham transfer, Dortmund interested in signing him. And it'd be very similar. They're making the comparison to his slightly older brother who went off from Dortmund to Real Madrid. They're in the final, like I say, in that straight shootout game with Sheffield United. Dortmund bosses really interested in the play. They came over to England to go and meet him. He is, importantly, and I didn't flag that up, but I will now, he's under contract, look, until June of 2028. So some compensation may need to be paid. Assuming he goes. So according to this article on OneFootball, Dortmund pushing for Bellingham transfer after securing Champions League spot. And again, quickly, because I don't want to distract too much, we have to give credit to Niko Kovac and his brother Robert. Out of the last 8 Bundesliga games in the season, under Niko Kovac, Dortmund won 7 and drew 1. That was against Munich in the Klassiker. And that run of 8 undefeated games, or 7 wins out of that 8, that managed to clinch a Champions League spot for Dortmund. You've got to clap that in, because in March they were fucking dead and buried. They were in 11th place behind Stuttgart. Nothing was happening, and again, 7 wins later and a draw tucked in the middle of all that, and they've ended up in the Champions League, which is why they need to rebuild. Niko Kovac, his brother Robert, are needing to rebuild this Dortmund team. They've got to hang on to Seru Girassi as well, by the way. We'll probably touch on that in another video, but they've absolutely got to keep hold of him. Their top bagsman, 34 goals in all competitions this season, and he's the joint top scorer still in the Champions League, and it probably will end up that way come the final on May 31st. So after clinching Champions League football, Dortmund head into the summer with increased financial flexibility. Their top target is Sunderland's Jobe Bellingham, who is expected to make a decision on his future following the club's championship playoff final against Sheffield United on Saturday. That is according to Sports Bild. Transfer fee, again, rumoured to be around 25 million euros. Other clubs, such as Inter and Milan, so blue and black, red and black, and several other Premier League clubs, plus Leipzig and Frankfurt, wow, they're all desperate to get hold of him. But they all realise this, that the clock's ticking, right? That the Club World Cup starts in a matter of days, June 15th. So if anyone's going to move, they've got to move pretty damn soon. Here's teamtalk.com. Man United barge aside as Bundesliga giants play ace card in Jobe Bellingham chase. Going for the SCE with all the words there. Basically saying, look, Manchester United are interested in him, but it looks like he's going to go to Dortmund because, of course, they've got that history. The family, don't forget that as well, that these are real players with families. They're familiar of the Bellinghams. They know Dortmund, right? And his mum and dad takes care of all his transfers, from what I recall, which is very similar to Hans and whatever Mrs. Wirtz is called. Florian Wirtz's dad, Hans, is his agent and does all the transfer dealings, all the commercial dealings for image rights and sponsorships and all the free boots that he gets sent and all those bottles of pop, Pepsi, right? So obviously the Bellinghams know Dortmund, right, inside out. So you would think it'd be odds on that they'd be comfortable with him going there. And yeah, this is more a repetition of the same point. This is interesting. This is Football Insider. This is what I'm trying to get at. This is Peter O'Rourke. Exclusive. Sunderland resigned to accepting Jobe Bellingham offer. Sunderland are resigned to losing starman Jobe Bellingham if they do not gain promotion to the Premier League via the playoffs. And again, BVB Central, another outlet. Dortmund has two priorities this summer. And how's this for me being able to provide you with some closure? As per Sport Bild, Dortmund has two priorities for transfers this summer. Ryan Cherky and Jobe Bellingham. Thank you, good night. Thank you, good night. And again, when I saw that article this morning and thought, I've just been clickbaited here. Real Madrid interested in signing Jobe Bellingham to play alongside his brother. What do you think then? What do you think about the prospect of another Bellingham playing for the Black and Yellows, playing for Dortmund? It feels like it could happen if Sheffield United under Chris Wilder, if they beat the Black Cats of Sunderland in this one-off playoff game for the Premier League. And even if they win, still feels like he might go because he could play in the Champions League. And that would only raise his profile fucking hell, even further, all over the world, all over Asia. And he'd be playing in the Club World Cup, wouldn't he? So he might even push his way into an England team, first team, under Thomas Tuchel. Wow, like... Anyway, what do you think? What do you think about that? The rumours of Jobe Bellingham going to Dortmund. What do you know about Ryan Cherky? What do you know about Ryan Cherky's personality? I'd love to find out more about that. And what are the transfer regulations like in your native or your domestic league? That's probably not as sexy as the other questions. Anyway, Bellingham to Dortmund, that'll be on the thumbnail. Bellingham to Dortmund, question mark. That'll get some clicks. But honestly, it wasn't. It wasn't intentional. Let me know what you think. And again, while you're having a think, in fact, fuck it, don't think about it. Two fingers, the double pivot, Pascal Gross, Jobe Bellingham, wants to like, wants to subscribe, and then use this outlet. So spread the word, please. We are on the push to 100 subscribers initially. We're on 79. I'm doing this full time. Gonzo and I, Gonzo for support, a plush toy for support. I'm doing it full time. I care about it. Hopefully that passion comes across. We're trying to find interesting stories every day that happen in and around the Bundesliga because that's where the heart is. Yeah. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, get them all involved. It's a safe space here. Real men cry too, and they'll be crying if they get another Bellingham. Take care. I'll be the same for now. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.